Lock Up, weekend evenings on MSNBC.
You disagree with me ideologically.
I do. It will be done again. We will do the facts.
There was no quid pro quo. There was no communication.
He could not answer.
Okay.
Hold on.
Fair
Could
enough.
not answer.
You talk about political correctness run amok.
This is about human rights. Do not go there. Does anyone want to challenge me on that?
Morning Joe, weekdays on MSNBC.
This is a normal day out here. I could sort of barely stand up. This is a good place to put something that's going to generate energy from the wind. We are not going to run out of wind. And the question is whether or not we are going to invest as a country in moving this energy to where it needs to go. You need a smart grid. You need big thinking technological advances in how we move electricity around the country. And we can do it. And you know what? When we do it, those are non-outsourceable American jobs that'll be doing it, and we'll be building it for the next generation and the generation after that.
What are we doing to help these kids who show up at school with inadequate support? We can't just put them at one of these desks and expect them to perform at the same level of kids who walk in with all the resources they would ever need.
The human cost of all the people in our country who don't have access to health insurance, who through no fault of their own have a pre-existing condition,
Resources they would ever need.
have a terrible illness, have been laid off. That
all the human stake
who don't have
becomes
access to health
abstract.
insurance.
But that's what it's
Through no
about.
fault of
That's
their own,
why we
have
want to have
pre-existing condition,
healthcare, right? Is
have a
because
terrible illness,
our individual
have been laid
fellow
off.
citizens are suffering
human
needlessly
stake
without
have
it. Becomes
access to health
abstract.
insurance.
But that's what it's about. That's why we want to have healthcare, right?
Weekends with
Is
Alex
because
Witt, only
our
on
individual fellow
MSNBC.
citizens are suffering needlessly without it. Becomes abstract. But that's what it's about.
All eyes are on Wisconsin as its big primary approaches. And we went out there this week to see just how money, big money, is transforming the state's political scene.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
Over the last several years, Wisconsin has become ground zero for big money in politics. It's where the now ubiquitous David and Charles Koch scored one of their biggest political victories with the election of Governor Scott Walker. When Walker first ran in 2010, they were some of the biggest supporters in both campaign and PAC contributions. And when Walker was forced into a recall election in 2012 after he pushed through legislation taking collective bargaining rights away from public unions, the Koch